headlines to chat about. Make sure we're recording. Before I introduce the incredible guest speaker tonight that I'm so excited about, I'm going to chat a little bit about some exciting things that we have going on. First of all, guys, number one, we are 90 days away from the new year, which is mind-blowing. So 90 days, 3 months, the last quarter of the year. And so I want to just talk about like the new month mindset. And I'm going to share my screen so I can share a leaderboard when I do that. So, we had an incredible September. This is actually not the updated board just because it will update tomorrow in our back office, but we changed a whole lot of lives. I think we probably changed over like 550 lives in September, which is incredible, right? And so in October, we all have a clean slate. In October, we're all starting at zero. And so when I was a new coach, even probably when I was like in my first year in this business, and for those of you who don't know this, I am approaching my 5 years in this business. When I was in my first year of this business, I would get to like my clean slate. Like I would have an awesome month. I would hit like maybe Success Club 7 or 8 or 10 one month. And then I'd start over in a new month and I'd be like, oh my God, now I got to do it all over again. Or, oh my God, where are these people going to come from? And I could tell you what, that mindset got me nowhere. And so I was thinking today, I was actually making dinner and I was thinking about like how I wanted to introduce the call tonight. And I think that the mindset that I hold today as a coach is not like a clean slate. Like I woke up this morning and yeah, it's a new month. Yeah, I wake up at Success Club 0. But for me, it's not like, oh my God, where are those people going to come from? Oh, now I have to start over. I almost look at every single day as an opportunity to change lives. And so I talked about this last night on another leader on our team's call, just about like the way that we speak to ourselves in this business has every bit of, it's what changes our business. And so if you wake up and you say, oh my God, where are these people going to come from? Or, oh, I have to start over. That's going to breathe into your business. But instead, if you wake up and you say to yourself, whose life am I going to change today? Not tomorrow. Whose life am I going to change today? What message? Can you guys hear me? Oh my God. Okay. What message can I, put across my social media today? What value can I offer people? Guys, that mindset, that like just like that way you're speaking to yourself pours over into everybody, pours over into your social media, into your conversations. And so instead of waking up in October and saying, oh my goodness, I have to start over. Oh, here we go. I want you to think about all of the opportunities that you have this month. And so the last thing I want to touch on with our leaderboard is, and all of our opportunities that we have this month is that I want you to think back to the beginning of September, right? We woke up at the beginning of September. We said, woo, it's a brand new month. We set all of these big goals and we got excited. Maybe we worked we worked really hard the first day. And then we got to day 30, September 30th, and we fell short of our goals. We didn't work as hard as we wanted to. And we fell short of Success Club, or we, didn't sign as many coaches. And so I want you to reflect back on your September. If you woke up September 1st and you were so excited about crushing your goals, so eager to change lives and, move your business forward, and you got to September 30th and you fell flat on those things, I want you to become crystal clear on why. Because I can tell you what, the reason that you are either going to have a successful October or an unsuccessful October is the action that you're putting in, is what you put into your body, the way you treat your body, how you move your body, the invites that you send, the value that you put on your social media. Those are the controllable things. The people that you saw had an incredible September are the ones who controlled those things. In one of the busiest seasons of America, human beings' lives, be the person who controls what they can in their own life, okay? And if you want to have a rock solid October, control the things will get you one step further. Deal? Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about really super quick. So this month, this is actually one of my favorite things, and I loved this as a brand new coach when they would bring like little competitions in monthly. And so this month for October is called Beat Your Best. And so it's going to be broken down between two categories. And I actually want you guys to put in the chat what the highest Success Club point, if you're a brand new coach, you're not going to do this, but I want you to put in the chat what is the highest Success Club points you've ever earned in your business before. And I want you to write it out. But so it's broken down in two categories. First one is the Success Club category. And so if you beat your best, and I'm going to break down the awards in just a second, but just know that if you beat your best Success Club that you've ever had, I think actually since October of 2018, any month that you've hit Success Club, if you beat that, you earn a medal. And then there's the selling volume beat your best. And so I really like how they did this. Normally it's like Success Club, Success Club, Success Club, but we earn volume based on other things than just challenge packs, right? We earn volume on Shakeology or new Shakeology orders, on annual all access, on Energize, on Ultimate Resets. We earn personal volume from anything that we sell to customers. And so Beachbody knows what your highest volume earned in a month time span ever is. And if you beat that, then you earn a medal. And so make that your goal. Make that your goal to have the best Success Club month ever, and make it your goal to just have the best volume month. Don't be so caught up on challenge packs. Challenge packs are incredible, but if somebody doesn't want to go with a challenge pack, offer them their next best thing. Maybe they just want the workouts. Maybe they just want the Shakeology. Maybe they just want, the quarter of Beachbody On Demand. Offer them those things. You'd rather offer them something than them walk away and go find somebody else. And so that's volume. That's commission. Okay. So that's really cool. We will be doing an updated Beat Your Best consistently as the month goes on, but this is something super cool. And so the awards are bronze, medal, and silver. So if you beat your Success Club goal by 1, you get bronze, by 5, you get silver, and by 10, you get gold. And anybody who hits the gold medal, who beats their Success Club by 10 points or beats their volume by 1,000 points, again, guys, you don't need to know what your volume is. Beachbody knows. They'll send you a report. But if you guys do earn the gold medal, in addition to earning the medal, you'll also get something from me as a gift. So that's super exciting. All right, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to talk really quickly about this. If you are an Emerald coach and you hit Success Club in September, get into the October Dash. It's with 3 other coaches that I admire so freaking much. I love them. And so we're going to be bringing some awesome training to you every day of the month throughout October, actually starting on the 7th of the month. So this is going to be really incredible to just, pegboard your business. Okay, the very last thing I want to talk about is, so Sandy, I think it was Sandy or somebody, I think it was Sandy, who runs the National Wake Up Call. She reached out to all of the top 25 coaches in the network, and our team is number 13 in the company. So we actually had the opportunity to sign up to get on a call with Amoila. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I butcher it every single time. So tomorrow night at 8 p.m., our team's actually going to host a call with Amoila. In addition to our team, we're actually going to have Amy Rada's team and Ashley Smith's team, who are also 2 top coaches of the network. And so we will be getting on a call with him tomorrow at 8 p.m. He's going to be basically breaking down 6 weeks of the work with us, and it'll be nice. It'll be exclusive, and it'll be something that you guys can bring to your social media. And I mean, there's only 25 top teams in the company. So the fact that you're on one is a really incredible opportunity. So don't miss out on that. So because it is at 8 p.m., we will not have an Emerald University tomorrow. Instead, we will have it next Wednesday. All right, this leads me to our last headline, which is our beautiful Sarah Young. So Sarah actually reached out to me back in January, when we started the Morning Meltdown 100 test group together. And she asked me if I wanted to start working out with her in the morning, because we had similar schedules. And we were both in the test group, and it was like super exclusive. We couldn't work out with anybody else. And so her and I would wake up every single morning at 7 o'clock and get our workout done together. Sarah is not only a ray of sunshine on her social media, but look at this transformation, guys. Like, look at that freaking transformation. Absolutely incredible. And like, physically, yes, but emotionally, look at her face, like her relationship, just like her value that she pours on social media. And that's why I labeled this call tonight, How My Business Changed When I Did. And I think there are so many women living in this lifestyle who are settling because they think this is so far off. And I want tonight to just prove to people where you can go when you pour into yourself each and every single day. So Sarah, I am so freaking excited. If you can unmute yourself, hopefully you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yay! Take it away, girlfriend.
All right. You guys can all hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I always start team calls just by saying that I am not a public speaker. It terrifies me to no end. I was always the person in school to like drop the course with any presentation component. So if I talk too fast, please slow me down. If you have any questions as I go, let me know. I tend to ramble and mutter and continue to just go on. So just let me know. So yeah, my story started like a long time ago. I have always been the bigger, overweight girl. And part of me always kind of just told myself that's where I was going to be. I was always just going to be that person that wasn't confident, that hid behind photos, that didn't want to be the center of attention. And I was okay with that because that was what I was used to. But there was also like a huge part of me that craved change. And I was always that person to never give up. So, you know, before I joined Beachbody, I tried absolutely everything. I was that person who went through Weight Watchers and would go to the gym for hours on end. And I would like see results here and there, but nothing stuck. Nothing was sustainable, and nothing was working for me in the long term. And so you know the story, I was scrolling on social media and I actually saw that my coach, so she is actually someone I know. She is married to my cousin. I saw that she had become a coach. And I had just watched her, she had just had a baby. I just watched her transform herself physically in like 6 months. And at that point in my journey, I just wanted that physical change so much that I was willing to do anything for it. So I reached out to her and I said, okay, like, what are you doing? Because what I'm doing isn't working. And I, at that point, honestly, was really just interested in more of the nutritional side of things. Like I said, like I literally went to the gym for hours on end. So I was like, I don't need those home workouts. I just want the containers and the Shakeology. And so I enrolled with that. And when I enrolled, I actually did not want to coach. So I like made sure a million times over, I was like, so if I sign up as a coach, I don't actually have to work it, right? And I was like giving her all the excuses like, why are they asking for my sin? And I was that person. But I did sign up as a coach. And for me, it was just for the discount. I kept telling her, don't ask me to coach. And she's like, okay, but I'm going to add you to the team pages just so you can get kind of like a sneak peek. And I was like, fine, but I'm not going to coach. Like, do it, but it's not going to do anything for me. So when I joined, I actually joined in April of 2017, I believe. So the newest program that came out was Core to Force. And that was actually with Joel and Jericho. I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I did that program. And the reason why I did that program actually is because I enrolled while I was in school. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this half an hour workout a go because I am so busy. So I'm just going to press play every day and see what it does. At that point, I was still not a believer. I still didn't really believe in the workout side of things, but I decided to just go for it. And I like went all in. I did the containers, I drank the shake, and I did the workouts, and I posted every day in the boot camp that she had. And at the end of that month, when I finished that program, it was the first time in my life where not only like did I get results, because like I said, I had gotten results with other things, but this was the first time for me that I felt a change in me that I knew that it was coming. Like I didn't exactly know what it was yet, but I just felt something in me that I was like, this is different. This is going to stick. This is going to be sustainable for me. And so I reached out to my coach and I was like, okay, tell me more about this coaching thing, because at that point I was already doing everything except for the business side of things. So, I want to say I reached out and became a runner, but I really didn't. I reached out. I was like, tell me more about it. And I honestly just dabbled in it. The weird thing too, is I actually went to Summit that year as a coach, like not even an Emerald coach, like not ever heading Success Club. I went to Summit having no idea what I wanted from this business, but I was like, if I'm going to try this out, I want to get the full experience. So I went to Summit that year. And to this day, I tell my girls, I don't think I'd be here if I didn't go to that summit. And I think if any of you have been to Summit, you can totally agree with me. It changes you. It shows you what is possible with this business. It just opened my eyes to possibility, to opportunity, to the fact that like, there is not one coach that like can do this. Like there are so many different backgrounds and ways of doing it that it just changed my life in that aspect, just seeing what was possible. So I came back from Summit, and like I said, I was in school. And I want to say again that I went to Summit and came back a runner, but I really didn't. I started coaching, so I started inviting and showing up on social media. I want to add that I had the worst warm market of life. So not like, when I say I had no warm market, like my mom didn't join me, like no warm market out there. So I had to go just to, like, we call it the cold market, but I always say like lukewarm now. I went to my cold market. I went to people I didn't know, and that's how I made Emerald happen. And that's how I made Success Club happen at the beginning. And, you know, since then, my warm market has joined me because they've seen what this has done for me. But if you're someone who doesn't have a warm market, like if anybody comes to me saying, none of my friends and family, you know, want to join, I just say, okay, on to the next, let's move on, because that does not dictate your success as a coach. I could have let that in that moment be like, oh, I can't even get my mom to join. How, like, why would I be successful in this? But I didn't. And I just kept going. So when I got back from Summit, I was still in school. And this business was honestly, like, just for me at that time, it was like just about my personal journey. It was more of a hobby. I would hit Success Club. I maintained Emerald. And it wasn't until like the end of that year when I don't know how it works in the US, but in Canada, you have to like write a test to be able to apply to grad school. And that was my plan. That had been my plan. My entire life was to go to school, go to grad school. I went to school for psych, and I wanted to go for research. And I remember studying for the test, and I remember just feeling like that was not my path anymore. Like I just remember being like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not, like I said, this is not my path. And it was weird for me to admit that, because I had been such an academic, and that was what I thought my life was going to be. I had no idea what was going to happen with coaching. Like at that point, I was not making much. I was just an Emerald coach, sometimes hitting Success Club. And I was just like, well, I'm going to take off with this. I'm going to go all into this because this is speaking to me in this moment. So in January of 2018, that's when I decided I was going to make this business work for me. And, so my coach, her name's Michelle, but Emily Favre is my grandma coach. And I reached out to her and I was like, okay, so I want to really work the business. What do I need to do? And she was like, you need to hit Success Club every single month, and you need to like get to Diamond. And so like for me, like I had not been hitting Success Club consistently at that point, but I was like, okay, like if that's what you need to do to like really be successful in that, that's what I'm going to do. And so in that moment, I made a decision that I was going to hit it every single month. And don't get me wrong, some months were hard. Some months I had to hustle a little bit more. But in that moment, like making that decision, like impacted everything, because it really did make me work. So I went through that year kind of going through the motions, hitting Success Club, showing up on social media, following programs, reading personal development, all that kind of stuff. But I felt like I was just kind of getting by. I felt that I wasn't leveling up. And I was consistently thinking to myself, like, why can I not find the runners? Why can't I find those people who want to work this business with me? Like, I just felt almost like I was just going through the motions. And so I had to like really check myself at the end of that year. And I was like, at a point where I was like, I might have to go back to school or work or something. And I remember I was talking to my boyfriend, and he's all about this business and very much like, you're doing this business, because he knows how much I love it. And he said to me, well, why do you think you're not attracting like the coaches that you want? And I was like, because I'm not the coach I want. You know, if I don't even see the vision, how can I expect anybody I recruit to see that vision either? And so in that moment, I decided I was leveling up. This was it. I was going to make it happen. And I actually did like an invite audit on myself. So I really looked in and was like, how many invites am I really sending? Like, what am I actually doing? What are the behind the scenes? And I was not inviting as much as I could have. I was not reading personal development that spoke to me. My mindset was not in the right place. And I was not really following programs. So at that point in January of this year, I was like, I need to invite more. And in that moment, I changed my mindset from if this happens to when it happens. And in that moment, I decided I wasn't going to let my success and happiness be in rank or success club. I was going to embrace and enjoy and love the entire journey. And this is one thing I believe in wholeheartedly. Like, I believe in having massive goals, like, do not get me wrong, but if you are an emerald coach, or if you are a diamond coach, or you are a 5-star coach and you do not love what you're doing, why are you going to love it when you're 15-star? And so in that moment, I was like, I'm just going to embrace the heck out of this journey, and it's going to happen when it's going to happen. I'm going to find my runners as they come. I'm just going to keep controlling the controllable. So I started to invite more. I found PD that really spoke to me. And in that time, I really needed belief in myself. And so you probably have heard of him. I listened to Brad Bizjack. He was what really helped me just spark that belief and confidence in what I was doing. And I decided to actually go all in with the programs and actually show people what was possible. And so those are honestly the biggest things that I changed. And then when I heard about the opportunity to be in the MM100 test group, I made it again, a decision. I was like, I'm going to do every single thing in my power to make that happen. So some days I would send 200 invites because I wanted to be in that test group. And I think that test group was the best thing that could have happened for me because I truly, truly went all in. I know I keep saying I went all in, but that is the moment that I went all in with nutrition. I went all in with workouts. And I believe it really transformed my business because I transformed myself. And so when I went all in, we started on the cruise, and I still went all in. I still followed my meal plan. I didn't drink. I didn't cheat. I worked out every single day. And the reason why is because I approached that with just saying to myself, this isn't for me. I was happy with what I looked like. I remember on day one, I was like, we'll see if I change. But at that point, it was really just to show other people what was possible. And that's how I approached it. And of course, this journey is always about yourself, and I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that in that moment, I wanted someone to watch me on a cruise, sticking to it 100%, so I could breed belief in them, that if I could do that in that situation, they could do it in their home, when they have their busy schedule. And I think that is so impactful. And that is why I truly believe that program transformed my business and helped me so much, is because I showed people what was truly possible if they went all in. I showed people what they could do with a 20-minute workout and following these little, portion control containers and make it a non-negotiable no matter what. And I showed up even when it was tough. My boyfriend started traveling for work during that time. And some days it was hard for me to get out of bed because I just missed him so much. And I remember speaking on my camera and being like, I didn't want to get up today, but I'm here showing you guys that if life is hard, you can still do it. And so I didn't sugarcoat things. I still showed up when it was difficult. I went through the trenches with them and I carried them on that journey with me. And I truly believe that showing them not the destination, but showing them the journey is where they saw me transform. They saw that light. They saw that I used these programs as my outlet. I used these programs to get myself out of bed in the morning. And I think for someone who craves change as much as I did when I started Beachbody, I think that does so much for them because it shows them that you're not only going to have a physical transformation, but you're also going to have a mental one. And so honestly, check yourself. If you're not following a program that you don't love, change it up. Maybe you're doing MM. If it's not your jam, I don't know how it can't be. But if you're doing it, it's not your jam. Do something new. Go all into the work. Show people what's possible with that. Show them that you can do it through the holidays and stay on plan, and just show them what's possible now for what's to come in. A few months from now when we hit the better quarter again. But it's honestly for me, this business, I transformed myself, but that's not why my business transformed. It was taking them through that journey. If I had just done this program and slapped up a day 1 to 100, I'm sure I would have gotten a few people, but that would have not made the impact it did if I didn't show up daily in their feeds, showing them what I was doing. And so, something I always tell my team is fall in love with the journey, fall in love with coaching, fall in love with what you're doing, because you're going to be doing this. If you have huge goals, which I really hope you do, you're going to be doing this forever. And that is such a gift. And like, I know we always say this is a gift, this is a gift, but like when you transform yourself with this, you really feel that as your gift. Like that is one thing that especially doing MM100 did for me, is I was like, how can people not do this? You know, and I had that attitude, and I felt that my conversations were so much better. You know, I believe in the subconscious. I felt that like I was so about this that they could feel that from me. I don't feel annoying when I invite. I don't feel annoying when I post, because I know that this has transformed me. Not just MM100, but like everything Beachbody is and what it has to offer. Like that girl on the left there, like she was so lost and she was so broken. And yes, she was like 70 pounds overweight, but she had so much work to do up here. And that's what I've shown people through my journey. It's not just the physical. I've shown them everything in between. Yeah. Okay. That's all I had. Let me know if you have any questions.
Oh my goodness. I pictured this call tonight, and I know your story, and I love your journey so much. And this was just like, speaks to my soul. We came into this business very similarly, like really in a low point in our lives, busy point of our lives, like resisting, like needing change so much. And then really go, you know, when you go all in, like what starts to happen, like from yourself, but also how other people view it. You said something that just like gave me chills. Two things you said. First thing you said, it wasn't about me. And so you went on the cruise, and I remember you going on this cruise, and you went on this cruise and you went all in. You stuck to your meal plan. You stuck to your workouts every single day. And you could have very well gone on that cruise, and you could have had a couple drinks, and you could have skipped a couple workouts, and you could have gone home and jumped right back into your routine. But you went on that cruise, not for Sarah, and stuck to your routine, but you went on that cruise to prove to all the other women that because you can stick to something in a 5-day time period while going to Haiti and the Bahamas with alcohol all around you, that they can do it in their normal day-to-day schedule. And that is exactly why you are where you are in your business, because you are mentally, you thought about that. Mentally, you said to yourself, you know what, I can do hard things. And for me, I want to go so far in this business that I'm going to prove to the other women out there who need to hear my voice that they can do hard things too. And that to me, like I have chills right now, like give so many chills. The second thing you say though, you said it with such like passion. I don't feel annoying when I post. Exactly. When you feel, and it's something that nobody can just say, here, feel this. We can't, and I say this to like my clients and stuff sometimes, or my new coaches. I'm like, when you feel it, you feel it. And it's not something you can just pass on to somebody, but when you really feel it, when you feel like that emotion of falling in love with your workouts, like you had at the beginning, like not even knowing what change was coming, but just knowing that change was coming, that feeling, you don't want to hold it back. Invites become natural to you. And then what? Success Club 10, Success Club 20, Success Club 30 just rolls off, the tip of your tongue, because it's just so natural, because of the way you speak, the conviction in your voice, the confidence, and so good. Guys, do you have any questions for Sarah? I'm going to ask a question while they ask any other questions. What would you say to somebody who is where you were in the beginning of 2018, where you felt like you were, or maybe at the beginning of 2019 even, where you felt like you were doing all the things, you were kind of sort of hitting Success Club, you were kind of sort of showing up. What would you say to that person?
I think the biggest thing is, if you have big goals with this business, which I'm assuming you do, if you're in this, I'm assuming you, like, whatever your goals are, I think you really need to go back and check yourself and think about what you want from this, because I truly believe that SC6 will not build that legacy. And so, you talked about how, I love how you talked about how you used to get nervous, like at the beginning of the month. And now we're just like, yes, new month, like ready to help all the people. And I think like that's the difference, is stop looking at like Success Club as your bare minimum and just start looking at it as something that you do. It's part of your business activities. You're going to hit it. You're going to help the people. And like, I don't even worry about SC6. Like I worry about SC50 because I want to just keep helping more people. And I think the thing for me was mindset. Like that was my biggest shift. And again, like I stopped saying if, and I change it to when. And that's when I found my people who see the vision with me, because you can't find those people if you're not 100% in it. And, you know, as coaches, like, our job as a leader is to set the bar. And, you know, if we're setting the bar low, like, our coaches are going to fall even shorter than that. So long story short, for me, it was all about mindset and just getting out of my head that Success Club was hard, and just going out there and wanting to make an impact and wanting to change lives.
Isn't it crazy how many coaches hit Success Club 6 and that's it? They're done.
And that's what I used to do. Like, I'm not even kidding. I used to invite until I hit Success Club. And so I showed up when it was convenient, and so my business showed up when it was convenient, and it showed. And, you know, if you have to check yourself, like, who cares if you're a year in? Check yourself, you know, see where you're at, like, really look into your activities and what you're doing, and if it matches where you want to go with this. Yes, it was Brad Bizjack. He has a few podcasts, and he just really spoke to me in that moment. You know, people always come to me for PD recommendations, but I feel like it totally depends on where you're at in your journey. So that was really what I needed at that moment.
So for you, you said at the beginning that you didn't have a warm market. You know, you really had to build your business on your own, which is totally fine and doable, clearly. When did you start to see your warm market start to warm up? Like, like your boyfriend and mom?
So my mom took the longest. She actually just joined me for MM 2 years later. A lot of my friends eventually at like the 6-month mark, and I had been doing it for a while. They saw that I was actually doing this for good, because remember, like, I had tried everything else. So for them, they're probably just like, okay, this is another fad thing that she's trying out. So I felt that I just needed to keep showing up to show them and prove them. So for me, it was about 6 months, and I still have people like from high school reach out that I'm like, oh, like, you watch me. Okay. So, and people I didn't even, like, I invited and they completely ghosted me. So you just have to keep showing up and showing them what's possible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Last thing before we pop off, what would you say to your team on October 1st to ensure that they have a killer month? Or how, like, what's just like the one thing you want to leave us off with to make sure that we have the proper mindset going into the new month?
I think the biggest thing, and this is what I try to always completely instill in my coaches, and this is, I talked about it a little bit, but, you know, having big goals is super important. And I think that's how we grow in this business. But I think the key is not putting everything in that goal. So, you know, again, stop saying like, you'll be happy when you hit SC50, or you're going to be happy when you hit 5-star, and just really like approach tomorrow as if you're that, because
so good.
Because honestly, like, again, this, like, we are all about the journey. As coaches, it's never about the destination. And I think we can apply that in our businesses too. You know, show up tomorrow as you want to show up, you know, in 5 years from now, and stop saying that you're going to be happy in this business when. And that's really what I try to instill in my coaches, because I want them to, you know, really love what we're doing, because we make such an impact, and we have such, like, I love what we do. You know, some days are tough, and I'll be the first to admit that. So we're entrepreneurs. Sometimes it's going to be hard, and, you know, sometimes we go through stuff, but I honestly, truly love what we do. And I think, like, that's the biggest thing for me, is like, just every single day coming out and loving it and showing people what's possible. And I know that all of my goals are going to come true, because I believe in myself that much.
Freaking men, not approaching anything with an if, but always with a when. I love it, Sarah. You are incredible, guys. Make sure you give her a follow. It's just Sarah Young Fit, right?
SarahYoung.fit. Yeah.
You are the best, guys. Make sure you guys go show her some love, tag her in your stories. But Sarah, thank you so much. Stories get me every single time. And it's, when I was a brand new coach, it was stories like this that made me say, you know what, if Sarah can, I can too. So guys, thank you for making your business a priority tonight. I love every single one of you guys. Oh, hey, and congrats. We're a superstar team. It's the first time I've been able to say that. All right. Bye, guys. Love you.